is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 2 to 7 and verse 15 to 17. Balaam looked up and saw Israel camping tribe by tribe. Then the Spirit of God came upon him, and he uttered his oracle, saying, The oracle of Balaam, son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eye is clear, the oracle of the one who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down, but with eyes uncovered. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your encampments, O Israel, like palm groves that stretch far away, like gardens beside a river, like aloes that the Lord has planted, like cedar trees beside the waters. Water shall flow from his buckets, and his seed shall have abundant water. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. So he uttered his oracle, saying, The oracle of Balaam, son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eye is clear, the oracle of the one who hears the words of God, and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down, but with his eyes uncovered. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. It shall crush the borderlands of Moab, and the territory of all the Shethites. The word of the Lord.
Who can question the authority of Jesus? And this is the common understanding we have, that we have no right to question His authority. But how often do we question the beautiful things that God has given us in the Word of God? The moral life that God Himself has given us. Therefore, we ourselves have questioned His authority. Let us reflect on this beautiful day, the authority of Jesus on our lives. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Matthew. Jesus came back to the temple, and as He taught, the chief priests and the elders came to Him and asked, What right do you have to do these things? Who gave you such right? Jesus answered them, I will ask you just one question, and if you give me an answer, I will tell you what right I have to do these things. Where did John's right to baptize come from? Was it from God or from human beings? They started to argue among themselves. What shall we say? If we say from God, He will say to us, Why then did you not believe John? But if we say from human beings, we are afraid of what the people might do, because they are all convinced that John was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, We do not know. And He said to them, Neither will I tell you then, by what right do I do these things? The Gospel of the Lord. Power and authority. Two words that we know very well. People who have power may not actually have authority to act. But people who do not have power might have the authority and might conduct themselves with the full authority they are invested with. And Christ was such person. He was one such person who had this authority in Himself. That's why the people who had power during Jesus' time, they saw Him as a challenge. Not only a challenge, but a threat to their power with which they have been given to work in the temple and also to teach and to preach during the time of Jesus. But when Jesus came out, they all saw that there is greater authority in Jesus. People felt it. Even Nicodemus said, "Teacher, I understand that you have got this from the Father, from God the Father." And that's how people were able to witness His authority, His teaching, preaching, and healing authority with which He reached to the people of God. And my dear friends in Jesus Christ, today, that same authority is valid for you and for me. But let me ask you this question. Is it a challenge for you? When you hear the Word of God preached to you with authority, when you hear someone telling you the morality of the Roman Catholic Church, the moral life of the Roman Catholic Church, are you being threatened by it? Very often, this has happened to us. Whenever we preach, whenever we tell people the Word of God or the moral life that we need to with which we need to conduct our lives, the preacher is being attacked. When you don't like the message, the best thing to do is to attack the messenger. But we need to realize the authority of Jesus is still valid for us. When I say I accept His authority, I need to change. Realizing that God has the full control over me, full authority over me. And we need to give in to that beautiful authority so that we could be changed and holy people. Whenever we preach about homosexuality, whenever we preach about living together, whenever we preach about extramarital relationships, whenever we preach about abortion, whenever we preach about contraceptives, we become a challenge. We become a threat to the people who do not like to receive that authority, the Word of God which comes to us, but rather they become more vulnerable towards all sorts of worldly pleasures. They become vulnerable to all sorts of sinfulness rather than heeding to the words, the authority of Jesus Christ. And this is the challenge we have as well. Let us belong to Christ. Let us be under His authority. Every word that He has spoken in the Word of God, let us receive them and let us make our lives so pleasing to Him by following the morality that God has given us in the Word of God.
Sri Wachanayano